Hey everybody, I'm Nate the Movie Guy, and today I will be reviewing Elvis. Elvis is Baz Luhrmann's biopic of Elvis Presley, from his childhood to becoming a rock and movie star in the 1950s while maintaining a complex relationship with his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. This film was directed by Baz Luhrmann, and if you don't know Baz Luhrmann, he made 2013's Great Gatsby and Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, and Moulin Rouge with Ewan McGregor, among a few other movies. And if you're a fan of his just dazzling, sweeping style, then you will love this movie. Simple as that. If you don't like his style, then you won't like this movie. And for me personally, I love his style. At least in this movie. I think in The Great Gatsby it worked. I think in this movie it works. I think in Romeo and Juliet, I don't think it really worked. But we're not reviewing Romeo and Juliet. We're reviewing Elvis. The movie dedicates itself to showing you just how hectic and overwhelming Elvis Presley's life was, especially towards the end of his life. And it's all done through the editing and visuals, and it's really, really well done. It's a really compelling movie to watch visually. And the real standouts here are Austin Butler, who portrays Elvis, and Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. These two, especially the former, are absolutely outstanding. Austin Butler plays Elvis Presley to a T, almost perfectly. So a little background, I am not the biggest Elvis fan. The music, I'm 18 years old. I didn't grow up in the 50s and 60s and early 70s when he was huge. But I've heard his music, obviously, the king of rock and roll. But I was never a huge fan just because it was never something I was exposed to when I was younger, or something I've never really actively sought out. But I saw this with a buddy of mine who is the most knowledgeable of Elvis Presley stuff ever. I mean, the man knows, if it's got Elvis's name on it, he knows it. And I saw it with him among a few of our other friends. And when we walked out, he had seen it once already, because I just saw it yesterday. So I saw it a little late. But he saw it as soon as he could. And when he told me that it was amazing and he loved it, and on the second time when we walked out and he said it was even better the second time, that I knew this movie did Elvis justice. Now, this isn't to say that the film is super accurate. It's not, at least in terms of specific events, but the relationships and the people in Elvis's life are portrayed with such realism and grace that even though some of the actual plot points and events might be summed up or heavily dramatized, it still tells the story of what he went through mentally, as well as the fact this film had a bold move that, honestly, this is my one gripe with the movie. The film is told through Tom Parker's eyes, his manager, and the movie vilifies him, which, as it should. If you know the story of Elvis, then you know his manager was a financial and emotional abuser, textbook definition. This guy was an awful person. I am a firm believer that he was the one that killed Elvis Presley. He was the one that drove him to drug abuse and alcohol abuse that ultimately killed him. That's the way I see it. And he is a villain in this movie. And Tom Hanks is brilliant. But the movie is told through the eyes of Tom Parker. So there's occasional narrations from him. And it's a little jarring. And honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But it does kind of excuse, I guess for lack of a better term, the fact that the actual story isn't super accurate, but the relationships portrayed were to the real life counterparts, if that makes any sense. And going back to Austin Butler as Elvis, easily the best performance of the year. He is incredible in this movie. When I saw they cast him, and I was like, he looks nothing like Elvis. But he plays him, and his mannerisms, his voice is so pitch perfect that you cannot help but love him. And he was brilliant, and if he does not get nominated for an Oscar, then the Academy is rigged, which we all know it already is, but throw me a bone here, because I really want to see this man get some amazing recognition for his amazing performance in this movie. So Elvis boasts some extremely strong performances, as well as some amazing portrayal of the characters and the real-life people in Elvis Presley's life. Although the film isn't super accurate, it still portrays those relationships with immense accuracy. And the visuals alone and Austin Butler's performance alone is, I think, worth the price of admission. I give Elvis the Nate seal of approval. Check out more reviews coming very soon, as well as the start of a new segment coming in the very near future. I'm Nate the Movie Guy. Thanks for watching.